Hello students, welcome to Veranda IAS. From the current affairs of economy, in this session we are going to discuss about the National Urban Digital Mission. The learning objectives of this particular session will be to analyze the National Urban Digital Mission, then examine the National Urban Digital Mission in news. Further, we will list the objectives of the mission, and then we will outline the approach of the mission. We'll also list down the benefits of the mission. Now, let's first begin by introducing ourselves to this particular mission, that is National Urban Digital Mission. The National Urban Digital Mission's objective is to develop a shared digital infrastructure that will bolster the urban ecosystem's capacity to handle complex issues at scale and speed. So that is basically the objective of this particular mission. So now what type of complex issues at scale and the speed, what do we mean by this? So when we live in an urban systems, now urban systems in India, they are not just urban, they are just what you can say, they are compacted with the huge population, and with the huge population there are multiple issues that are created. The issues can be ranging from the sanitation to the infrastructural issues to the complex, it can include even the civil and criminal kind of things. So those all things issues are there. It even related to the safety issues of the people. So with the population that we are living in our cities and the process of urbanization that has happened in India, it has created a lot of complex issues. And now to solve those complex issues and also to create a certain kind of digital infrastructure, this particular mission has been initiated. So that mission, again, in simplest term, urban digital mission, right? So to develop a digital infrastructure that will bolster the urban ecosystem's approach to handle complex issues at scale and speed. Now further, it will build a shared digital infrastructure for urban India, integrating the three pillars of people. So first, people will be involved. So whatever the issues and all those things will be there. So like I said, complex issues. People, when they are involved, there can be very multiple levels of issues. There will have civil offences, there can be criminal offences. This is related to safety, hygiene, sanitation, or even transportation. That all things will be there. So people will be involved in this process. People will be involved. Then the process will be there, and then the platform for all these things. So this is integration of people, the processes which we have to undergo. So like for example, there can be a process where a person wants to have or does not get a tap water. So now what is the process to get, or how do we complain to get that tap water? So that kind of processes can start. So these processes will be involved, and then the platforms to give cities and towns with the holistic support. So it is like a support mechanism also, right? So moving on and looking it further into Nudm mission, it is a public good that supplies core digital building blocks, ready to use platforms, standards, specifications and frameworks to ecosystem participants. Further, by 2022, it will have institutionalized a citizen-centric and ecosystem-driven approach to urban government and service delivery in the cities. So by here, what we mean is that citizen-centric, here focus will be the citizens. We will learn that when we study the citizen-centric approach in detail. And again, urban government and service delivery in the cities, this will be done by 2024. So it would have done so in all Indian cities and the towns. So by 2024, this is the target. Remember, for the prelims examination, they can give you a statement about the scheme particularly. So approach and the year when it is supposed to be followed in all the Indian cities and towns. Now, what was the news about it? So, in February 2021, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology established the NUDM. So, this is the important point. For prelims, which ministry is responsible for the National Urban Digital Mission? So there are two ministries which are involved. So first one is Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and second one is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So Housing and Urban Affairs, obviously they will be knowing the issues, and this is the ministry which will look into creating that platform or the infrastructure required. So remember this point, very important for the prelims. Now, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has also developed many additional digital initiatives, including the India Urban Data Exchange, Smart Code, the Smart Cities 2.0 website, and the Geospatial Management Information System. So all these have already been created by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in India. Now further, these projects will support both ministries continuing efforts to realize the Digital India and Atmanirbhar Bharat visions. So we all know, we have studied the Digital India in our traditional part. It is an important scheme to digitize the processes and give boost to the information technology and reach it to the people. So, and even Atmanirbhar Bharat visions, so where India will be looking forward to develop or build the capacity to develop the technologies and all those things. So overall, these 2 points, or we can say all the 3 points, are very important from the exam point of view. Fine. So further, now what are the objectives of the mission? So first, to improve the comfort of life. That is the first thing. In our cities and towns via use of information technology and allied technologies, and to support the current urban ecosystems through a citizen-centric approach. We will study what is the citizen-centric approach as we move ahead, but the primary simple objective is what? To increase the or improve the comfort of life in our cities and towns, and how that can be done? By using the information technology tools and the allied technologies. So it will be the system that will be citizen-centric approach based. Now further, to develop shared digital infrastructure as a public benefit in the form of cutting-edge digital urban platforms, building blocks and data infrastructure for managing critical digital urban data, as well as the infrastructure necessary for this smooth interchange. So obviously, simple point, in simplest word, what we can say out of all these points is that first you have to create the digital infrastructure using the public benefit cutting edge digital urban technologies and all those things. So obviously first and the important thing is you have to create a digital infrastructure. So that is another objective. So if you have to realize this, first create the digital infrastructure. Then to catalyze the development of urban national open digital ecosystem, UNODE, remember this again, very important for the prelims, based on National Urban Digital Mission in order to create new platforms, solutions and innovations. So as we create fundamentals or the base for the urban digital missions and urban digital missions and all those things, in the times to come, new things will be coming up. So that will, new kinds of platform, new kinds of solutions, new kinds of innovation will be coming up. So that can be realized through this. Fine. So now further, objectives to develop open standards and to compel all national digital urban stakeholders to embrace them. So whoever is involved into them, they should be embracing that. Then to provide a single source of truth for urban assets. Single source of truth for assets means what? Let's say in a particular town, this is a land area and one purchase. Now when you purchase a land, what is the most important thing? You should be knowing who actually the owner is. Now in India, what happens on a particular piece of land, there will be multiple owners or there will be multiple claims. Now if you have an infrastructure where you actually put certain survey number, let's say survey number is a system which tells you the land area and all those things. Now if you put on that, now you get all the details of that land, who is the owner, who is the actual owner, what are the claims. So if all those things are realized, then it becomes easy for you to take a decision whether to purchase that land or not, or whether it is a disputed land or not. Otherwise what happens, there are many times fraud that happens, mostly in the real estate and that sector. So urban assets like land is one of the urban assets. So for that it can provide a single source of truth. That means single source of relevant and actual information. Service delivery, urban data and actors by establishing registers at the suitable level. So all these are the objectives, or all these have to be created under the mission. Then to encourage the development of nationally scaled application system with a particular emphasis on fulfilling the sustainable development goals for the cities. Now this is very important, the cities, and because of the urbanization and the pace of urbanization, there are altogether new problems that have been created. So if we have to deal with that, then already we have the sustainable development goals, and we all talk about sustainable development, sustainable plus the inclusive growth or development, that if that has to be achieved, then emphasis has to be placed. So cities have to develop in a sustainable way. Now approach to the mission, like what we talk about the citizen-centric approach. So first is people. So first, mobilize, enable and empower urban ecosystem stakeholders. So whoever are involved in that, so those people have to be mobilized, enabled and empowered. So that is the first thing. Then the second pillar is the process. And what is in the process? So it is to enhance governance through the use of standards and framework that facilitate collaboration and influence. So because of process will involve the collaborations and influences, and this will be, again, you have to do that by enhancing the governance, and enhancing the governance will require the standards and the frameworks. So you have to develop first of all those standards and the frameworks, and then that processes will be refined and re-refined, and out of that you will have a better kind of what you can say governance. Then further, platforms leverage technology to enhance the quality of life of the for the citizens. So obviously, with people, processes, all the stakeholders involved, so the lives of people will be changing. Why? Because you are using the technology. So now here the platforms will play an important role. So platforms will be using the technology, and technology will do what? It will just ease out the life. Like for example, simply like they have created a mobile app, and on the mobile app you can register the complaint, or you can get the information, or whatever you want to. So if that is done, then obviously we can say that that is the third pillar. So obviously with these three pillars, people, process and platform, rests the national urban digital mission. Now what are the benefits of the mission? So now increased people's ease of life, that is what we have talked about, through hassle-free access to government services. So hassle-free. So like as of now also in many cities there is the facilities, something have improved, but still there are multiple things where to get the government services we have to actually go multiple times. So now that if you have to reduce that, then obviously you can take the benefit from this mission, as this mission will be utilizing the technology and all. Then facilitate field level functionaries work through the use of digital technologies and on-demand capacity development. So that is also one of the benefit. Then improved decision support tools to improve city management. So decision support tools nowadays they can use even the newer technologies, like for example artificial intelligence can be used to take the decisions and support systems, new models, new theories, new predictions, new hypotheses can be built through that. So AI also has the potential in potential in dealing with the city management. So these are the benefits. Now further benefits: easier access to information and more simplified approach to communicate with the municipal agencies to better serve the residents. Now this is problem, communication gap. Like if you have to communicate, obviously we know the people cannot communicate because we have too much of population, and because of that population, even the administrators who are there, they are faced with a lot of burden. So with the use of information technology, the easier information can be received, and at the same time it will be having a simplified approach. Okay, simplified approach to communicate. So communication and access to information, these are the two important points that can be realized through this particular mission. Then further, reduced innovation cost as a result of open data and simplicity with which solutions may be built to meet the demands of stakeholders. So here they will be using open source softwares and all those things. So let's hope whenever actually we get actual one platform or something, then we will be having more details as to how it has been created, but it will be reduced innovation costs. Okay, that is important point because it is a result of open data. Then further, increased ease of doing business. Obviously, if cities are good, people are living a comfortable life, and then obviously in those, and then infrastructure is being created that will help cities or business groups to establish their businesses. At the same time, it will help in ease of doing business as a result of simplified and time-bound application approval. So you will have, like if you apply for certain service and then you have in front of you, okay, in these days we have to receive the service. If you are not getting the service, then they will show why it is delayed. There has to be some reasons to be given. So when we talk about ease of doing business, how quickly you are time bound, or how quickly or how time bound your applications are processed, that plays a very important role. So by use of technology and all those things, these will be time bound, and because they were time bound, it will help in increasing the ease of doing business. Now to summarize what we have learned, we have studied National Urban Digital Mission, then we studied NUDM in news, then we studied the objectives of the mission, then we studied the approach of the mission, and then we went on to study the benefits of the mission. And then with that, we also studied the way forward and all those things. So with that, I hope you have understood whatever we have discussed in this particular session. That's it for this session. See you in another one. Thank you.